Hi everyone. Last week, chips and semiconductor companies and everything all related to the AI stocks fell hard. I think many investors had a very stressful week. And if you held the Marvell Technology, ticker MRVL, it was probably even tougher. During the day, the stock fell almost 17%. If you look at the chart, this was not just a normal pullback, it was a very sharp drop. But ironically, right after market closed, a very big news came out. Marvell entered the S&P 500. Wow. Usually, this kind of news is seen as a very positive for the stocks because ETFs and index fund that tracks the S&P 500 need to buy the new stock that enters the index. And S&P 500 index fund are the most popular index funds in the world. Marvel had a very interesting week. First, the stock dropped hard, then the S&P 500 news came out, and even before that, Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang had already mentioned Marvel, bringing much more market attention to the name. He said Marvel will be the next $1 trillion market cap company. So for Marvel investors, last week must have felt like a real roller coaster. Today we are going to see how Marvell Technology could join the S&P 500 and if this company is still good to invest at the moment. Before we start, I post the breaking market news every morning on my YouTube Shorts. I strongly believe this will help your investment decisions. So please check them out and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of them. Then let's get started. First, let's look at last week's sell-off. Marvell was not the only stock that broke down. Chip stocks, AI server names, data center stocks, and networking related companies were all under pressure. Many of these stocks had already gone up too much. Market rates were also a burden. AI expectations were extremely high, and on top of that, because of the large SpaceX IPO, a lot of money also seems to move out of the stock market. In this kind of market, even good companies can fall together, especially like Marvell, which had risen fast on AI infrastructure hopes, can move even more sharply when the market turns down. But then the news came out that Marvell will join the S&P 500, and that brought back some hope. Why? Because entering America's main stock index means the company moves deeper into the view of large funds. Index money can come in. Long-term investors may also pay more attention. Before, Marvell may have been a cheap stock that only people who follow the company knew well. Now it can be viewed as one of the major US technology names. Then how could Marvell be added to the S&P 500? First, let's quickly look at the basic rules for joining the S&P 500. Not every company can enter the S&P 500. In general, it has to be a US company first. It has to be listed on the US exchange. Its market cap and trading volume must be large enough. And there is one more important condition, profitability. To become a candidate for the S&P 500, the company needs to be profitable under GAAP in the most recent quarter. It also needs to be profitable under GAAP over the last 4 quarters combined. This part was important for Marvell. Marvell was already large enough in terms of market cap and trading volume, but now, with strong demand from AI data centers, the company passed the profitability test as well. That is why the S&P 500 entry became possible. Reuters also explained that Marvell entered the S&P 500 after passing the GAAP profitability test, helped by AI-related demand. So this news is not just about one more company entering an index. It means the market is starting to recognize Marvell not just as an AI hope stock, but as a major tech company that belongs inside America's key stock index. According to the official announcement, Marvell will be added to the S&P 500 before the market opens on June 22nd. It will replace Pool Corporation. June 19 is the market holiday, so index fund may buy Marvell shares near the market close on June 18th. Then from the June 22 trading day, Marvell should be included in S&P 500 ETFs, including VOO and SPY. Many S&P 500 index funds will buy Marvell stocks on June 18th. That is why joining the S&P 500 can be very helpful for a company. Many regular investors keep buying S&P 500 ETFs over time, so the stock can receive steady long-term demand. Now, the core of Marvell's business is AI data centers. A data center does not run only on GPUs. A huge number of chips have to be connected to each other. Data has to move at very high speed. Power use also needs to keep improving. For that, you need to networking chips, optical links, switches, and custom chips. This is where Marvell is becoming more important. To put it simply, if NVIDIA is the engine of AI, Marvell is closer to the network that helps those engines move together without crashing into each other. As AI competition grows, the bottleneck is not only about computing power. Data movement, power networks, and custom design are becoming more important. That is why Marvell is being re-rated as an AI infrastructure company. The CEO of NVIDIA mentioned Marvell as a next major technology company and possible next 1 trillion market cap candidate. That is hard to see as just empty praise. Right now, one of the strongest companies in the market is Broadcom, and Marvell is getting attention as a strong candidate following behind Broadcom. Of course, Marvell also has risk. The first risk is that stock is expensive. This is one of the biggest risks for good stock, right? It went up too much. The second risk is competition. Broadcom has a much stronger position in this market. We'll still need to see whether Marvell can really reach that kind of level. The third risk is the AI investment cycle. Right now, big tech companies are spending a huge amount of money on data centers, but if the spending slows down at some point, related stocks can come under pressure all at once. The fourth risk is the price level. Even if the growth story is strong, if the stock price moves too far ahead, a good company can still become a bad investment. So here's my view today. This type of sharp drop is clearly painful for investors, but I do not think Marvell Technology's long-term story has been completely broken. Actually, you even can say that Marvell Technology's long-term story has become stronger. Think about 2020 December when Tesla entered the S&P 500. Marvell Technology may have some volatility for a while, but if you have strong faith in this company, the S&P 500 entering news is a great news, and this is a great opportunity. So Marvell is now on the test stage of AI infrastructure era. Thank you for watching my video today. I'll come back with another interesting market and stock insight. See you in the next video. I'll be back.